Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a hard resurface on the Supernova, one of my waste balls. I did some hard resurfacing on a few of my balls and one of hers, posted it to a couple social media pages on Facebook. So by popular request, people wanted to see how it was done, had questions, and I said I'd make a video. So I'm going to go through each step of what I do and show you what I'm going to do to the ball and how I got to start. Now, to keep this video short, I'm only going to sand part of the ball. I do four sides. I do pin up, then I flip the ball 180 degrees, and then I flip it on its side, do that, and then I flip it again. So I do four sides of the bowling ball. I'm only going to show you one side just to save a little bit of time, but I will show you each step and so forth. So you'll see each step, see what the ball looks like after each grit. So if you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe. Feel free to share it with your friends. Drop me a comment. I don't have any of my bowling stuff on because this is going to get messy. Bear with me if it gets a little dusty, because it will throw some dust. And don't mind me, I'm in my basement because I don't want to do it upstairs in the living area where it's going to get dust over everything. So I'm going to do it down in the basement where I don't care if it gets dirty down here. So alright, I'm going to turn it around and show you some marks. Alright, so we're going to do my wife's Supernova. As you can see, there's a bunch of scratches, some chips that you can hear marks. Spin this around right here. And like this one here, remember this one because this will be a good, you can hear it. So there's marks all over this ball. This is not the worst one, but I already did all the ones that were pretty bad. So this is the next best thing. Like I said, there's marks all over this ball. Not real big. I mean, there's a couple big ones like this one. But so, alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at 120, 220, 400, 600, 800, 1000, and 1500 grit, and then I'm going to polish it because that's where she likes this ball, at 1500 grit polish. So like I said, I don't know if I said earlier, but don't mind me, I'm in the basement keeping the dust down, whatnot. So I'm going to walk you guys through the process. I always start with the pin on top, and then I flip it 180 degrees, and then I'll put it on the side with the CG and stuff. I'll turn it sideways so this is straight across from each other, and then I'll do this side, and then I'll flip it 180 again so I can do this side of the ball. To save time on this video, I'm only going to show you the top, starting at the top. It's going to be too long a video if I go through the entire ball sanding it, but I will show you what it looks like at each grit level. So alright, let me get my camera on stand and let's get started. Alright, this is going to make it dusty, so I apologize if the camera does get a little blurry, but I'll make sure I wipe it off. So we're going to start off with 120 on the ball spinner here. Get this centered up here. Alright. Now I'm losing light pressure. I'm not pressing hard. I'm just kind of letting the sandpaper do its thing. Alright, there's the top part of it, and as you can see, That's 120 grit. So it's definitely pretty rough. But as each step goes on, it will get better and better as time goes on. And like I said, I will show you this, so stay tuned. I'm going to finish the rest of it, this grit up, and we'll be right back. Alright, so as you can see, we are at 120. Now granted, you're not going to get every mark out because some marks are pretty deep, but you can get a lot of the marks out. Like the one at the finger here, if you remember, it's there, but it's not as deep. So now we're going to go on to 220, and we're going to hit that and keep moving forward. All right, let's go. As you can see, you really don't want to do this like upstairs in a house. If it was a little nicer outside, I'd definitely be doing this outside, not in my basement. Should really have a mask on because it is pretty dusty. Like I said, this is going to take a little bit of time. It's something you can't do in just like 10 minutes. It's going to take a little bit of time to get it done and get it done right. So be patient with it and you'll get the results you're looking for. So, I know it don't look like much, but there is the 220. I don't know if I can roll it enough. So you can almost see how this is just a little bit finer than this is 120. This is 220. So it's still pretty rough, but not as rough as the 120. So let me finish this bowl up and we'll get on to the next step. Alright, now that we're done with 220, I'm going to jump up to 400. You could jump to 320 to make the 400 grit a little easier to sand. So I don't have 320, so I'm jumping up to 400. So let's start with 400 and keep moving. Go a little bit longer on the fork since I don't have the 320, just to make sure I get everything smoothed up a little bit. I'm going to turn this so you can see the difference between the 420 and or 400 and 220. So now we're at 400. This is at 220. Now this step would probably look a lot better if I did go to 320 and then 400, but like I said, I don't have it. But you can see the difference in the grits from 220 to 400. So by the time I get the bowl all done, this will look a lot better than it is. So, alright, I am gonna finish the 400 up and we'll be right back to hit it with 800. Alright. Dummy me forgot to stop and get some 600, so we're jumping right to 8. And don't be afraid, because there will be times you will take some of the logo off, because some of the logos are not as deep as other companies, so it doesn't affect the ball at all. So alright, let's get on to 800. turn the ball for you again so you can see the difference. As you can see, 800, 400. So you can see the ball's getting here. So as soon as we get up to 1,000 next stage, we'll be using wet, so it'll make it a lot better. As you can see, some of the lettering's coming off. This wasn't very deep, so, but it'll be fine. So I'm going to continue to sand, and we're going to get on into the 1,000 and 1,500 after this. Alright guys, now that 800 is done, we're going to get up into the 1,000 grit. And we're going to start shining this ball up. Get some wetness going on here. Alright. So we're about done with this ball. We'll get through 1,000 and 1,500, and then we will get some polish on it and show you the final result on it. Come on. Just wiping the dirt off of it. Let's get this wiped off so you can see the difference there between the 1,000 and 800. Alright, let's get over here. As you can see, 1,000 over here, 800 over here. So 1,500 is going to have some scratches, just because, you know, lower the grit, it's going to have, you know, more bite. Especially putting 1,500 under the polish, you're going to have a little bit more grip and rip with the polish. So alright guys, I'm going to finish up with 1,000, and then we're going to get back with 1,500 and get this ball finished up. Be right back. Alright guys, 1,000 grit is done. Now we're going to move on to the final grit for this ball, which is going to be the 1,500 grit. And as you can see, the ball does not look as rough as it did when we first started. So let's hit it with some 1,500. I'll get her cleaned up and get some polish on it. Like I said, this does take some time. Like I said, I haven't been running the video the whole time, so I'm probably going on about 40 minutes of doing this, and I'm almost done. So it does take a little time. You know, it's not a fast process, but you take your time, you can really do a nice job. And like I said, some bowling balls like this, when the logo is very shallow, so you may take some of the logo off when you do a hard surface change. I know I did one on my Zen Soul and to get some really bad ones out, and it took pretty much my entire logo off. But I know what the ball is. The ball still works great, so. Alright, looking good. We'll put it over here so you guys can see the difference. As you can see, she's starting to shine up. So there's not a whole lot of difference between the 1500 and 1000. You can see this is starting to shine up. You can see it's shinier here than it is here. So of course you can really see it up here from 1500 to 1000. So it's getting better. So once I finish this ball at the 1500, I'll get her cleaned up with some cleaner, and then we'll get ready to put polish on it. So this ball is about done, so give me a few minutes here and I'll be right back with you. Alright guys, so the 1500 grit polish is done, or 1500 grit is done. I am going to let this video run so you can see me polish this ball with True Cut hand applied polish by Turtle Wax with the premium polishing pad. You're creating a difference. I'm going to let this video run to show you the polish, but also to let you guys see how I sanded the ball after I started with the pin up. See how I did everything. So let's get right into slapping some polish on this ball and making her shine again. Running low on a lot of stuff here. So let's now, I didn't use True Cut sanding pads because I am out of them. I prefer to use True Cut pads. I didn't have any, so I had to use automotive sanding pads. So I don't know how close the grit actually is and how true it is. I got a ball scanner. It's going to be coming through creating the difference. So at that point I'll be able to get better insight on that. But I'd rather use the True Cut pads anyways because they are more accurate in reading. If they're 2000 grit, they're 2000 grit. You know, if they're 1000 grit, they're spot on to 1000 grit. So I'm not sure how accurate these automotive pads are, but I used my balls Monday night with the automotive grit sandpaper on them, excuse me, and I didn't see really any difference in ball motion. So I'm gonna have to say the pads that I use is pretty close to being accurate, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But once I get a ball scanner, I'll be able to verify how close it actually is. As you can see, she's shining up right where I want her. Alright, now we're going to flip her on its side. This ball turned out pretty good. That mark, if you remember by the ring finger, it's almost gone. It was actually pretty deep. I got most of it out. So, plus it's by the ring finger. It's not in the track, so it's alright. But the object is to clean the surface back up and getting the ball looking like new again. Take it, flip it that way, 180. Do this as the last side. Like I said, this is how I sanded the ball with through all the grits. which is taking a lot which took a lot longer than me throwing polish on it. So yeah, this ball's almost done. And once it's done here, we were going to take a look at it. Wipe the polish off of here. I always use a towel just to wipe the excess polish off. Polish off here. Shine her up, and I'm going to set her down so you can see the ball. So, alright, here we go. There she is. All shine back up again. Let me make sure my camera's wiped off here. As you can see, she's all back to shiny again, looking new. And right there's that spot that was on the finger. So if you wash, I mean, it don't even make a noise anymore. It's not even that deep. Look around the side of the ball. Seen all the marks on it before. And like I said, yeah, it took a little bit of the logo off and stuff, but that doesn't hurt anything. But as you can see, I started at 120, 220, 400, 800, 1,000, 1,500 and polished it. So, and it brought it back. I can't know if I can get any good shots of. You can see some scratches in it, which is the 1,500 grit under the polish, which is what it's asking for. So, with that said, so there you go, guys. With that being said, the ball is, you know, back. It's nice and shiny again. As you started to watch, you've seen the marks in it. Now, granted, this ball wasn't heavily damaged like some of the other balls that I resurfaced that you guys on some of the social media pages have, you know, asked questions about and seen. Like I said, so basically, I don't know if I'm doing the hard surface properly, but to me, I'm getting it done. And the balls are turning out like brand new. Yeah, some of the logos do come off. Like I said, this one here, logo wasn't so deep. It started to come off. My Zen Soul was the same way. Logo wasn't deep. Took 90% of the logo off, but I still know what that ball is. And it still performed like the day I got it. So, that being said, logo doesn't affect anything. But now, like I said, if you guys got any questions, you know, I did this video for you guys that were asking about this hard surfacing, you know, the steps. Like I said, between 220 and 400, you could have thrown 320 in there to make the 400 step a little easier. You could have went to 600 or even 500 to make the steps above a little easier. So when you take a big jump like 220 to 400, you got to spend just a little extra time sanding it. That's why I said it takes a little longer to do, because you know you got to really work that next grit to get the heavier scratches out. I do body work, so I know that I should have went to 320, but don't have it. Should have went to 600 or 500, didn't have it, so I compensated and made it work. And like I said, you guys seen the finished product. Let me know down in the comments of what you think. If you have any questions, you can message me on Facebook, or you can leave a comment below here on this video. So thanks for the guys that are watching. Appreciate the feedback on the other stuff and your interest in resurfacing these balls. So please hit that like and subscribe button for me. I'm trying to grow my channel so I can bring you better content and stuff like that. I don't have a jersey on, but if you like any of the jerseys you see in my other video, head on over to Bullify. Like I said, I don't have any sanding disc, and the polish that you just see me use. So if you need any resurfacing, cleaning products to maintain your ball, head over to Creating the Difference, and they'll fix you up with some amazing product. And any ball like this ball or any other ball you've seen in my videos, you can head to giveheartsbowling.com and order yourself up one. I don't think you can the Supernova anymore, I think, because it's discontinued, but any other ball that you may want or need, go to them. Alright guys, until next time, I'll see you out on the lanes.